Ni hao de pang outside Jungo. Watch out, Thomas Geiger, and today at iphone.com I'm presenting you the hottest car that is available in China at the moment, the Xiaomi SU7. Just recently launched and the orders are piling up, so they have a long lead time and everybody is curious if the first car of this big cell phone company is really an achievement or if it's just another Me Too electric sedan. And to figure that out, I brought another car with me, which is one of the best-selling EVs in the world, the Tesla Model 3. So on the one hand, we have the big champion of the electric world. On the other hand, we have the new conqueror from China. And if you want to know how these two cars compete, what the Xiaomi really has to offer, join me on my first test drive and I'll tell you all about it here on iphone.com. We have so many electric cars on the market and they're all looking pretty much the same, costing the same, having the same technical specs. So at the end, it's the taste, it's the brand, and it is the detail that makes the difference. And when it comes to details, the Tesla is somehow boring. For example, the key. That is the key card to the Tesla, looking like a baggage tag. We've seen that 1,000 times before, and the only fancy thing is the pink collar on it. Compare it with the key of the Xiaomi, which is hidden behind this hand. If you look at it, it is the car as itself. Never seen that in a mass production car, never seen that in another Chinese car. Yes, the idea is not new, but it's a premium feature we know, for example, from Porsche. Now it's translated into the volume segment, and it is a cool detail that really makes a difference. So this point definitely goes to China and the Xiaomi. But before we hit the road, let's just take a short look at the design of the two vehicles. We all know the Tesla Model 3. We've seen it thousands and thousands of times. But the Xiaomi has a brand new design, even if it kind of looks familiar as well, because Xiaomi has taken a close look, for example, on the Porsche Taycan and has reinterpreted, let's put it like that, the German design language. The car is a bit bigger than the Model 3. To compare it, it's 30 centimeters difference. So the Model 3 is roughly 470, SU7 is pretty much exactly 5 meters in length, and the wheelbase is also different. 3 meters at the Xiaomi, a little less at the Tesla. But the one thing that brings the cars together is the price. The bigger car, the Xiaomi, is even a bit cheaper than the Tesla, roughly 10%. If we look at the interior of the Xiaomi, the first thing that really sticks out is the roominess, at least the lots of legroom. The car has a wheelbase of 3 meters that really gives enough space to the front seat passengers and to the passengers in the rear. When it comes to the design of the dashboard, I'm not 100% convinced. It looks nice, it looks noble, but somehow it doesn't kick me. It is not as clean as in the Tesla, so it's a bit more loaded. But on the other hand, it is not as prestigious as in the Porsche. It's neither fish nor beef, but it is very functional. We have that huge screen here with lots of infotainment going on. I'm sadly not able to read all the Chinese, but if I switch here, I can play a lot. I have a great and a fast navigation. I have my app store, so I can play once I've learned Chinese. I have a very small display here that shows me speed, directions, and the main driving characteristics like battery power and stuff. So everything available. And I have a steering wheel that pretty much looks like Porsche Taycan. It has the drive mode switch, it has a switch for the autonomous driving, it has physical buttons on the steering wheel. So everything fine. It really has a good grip, so I can't wait to get that vehicle driving. It is an interesting design. I would just have loved to be more individual and not so much common grounds. If you sit in the back seat of the Xiaomi, you have more space than in the Tesla and definitely more space than in the Taycan. But it's not the most comfy car for the rear seat passenger, at least if you're 1.90 meters in height as I am. So then you really have to sit close and not too relaxed. Good thing is head clearance is enough due to the panoramic roof. Only problem is you have to get underneath this pillar when you want to enter or exit. But once you sit in the car, it is quite comfy and you could go for quite a bit. On the other hand, if you own a sports sedan like that, you don't want to sit on the back seat. The best seat in the house is always the one behind the steering wheel. If we look at the design of the two cars, you can easily spot which one is new and which one is old. We all know the Tesla for ages and it hasn't changed a lot. There are some minor facelifts once in a while, but the general line is old and almost outdated by now. I still like it because it's so clean, it doesn't make any fuss, and compared to the Xiaomi, it's more compact, it's a little bit rounder, it's a little bit more agile looking. But it's really time that they update their design language, and maybe the Xiaomi is a kick in the butt so that they really start changing their thinking. Yeah, here we're sitting in the Tesla, and if you know one, you know them all, because they're all clean and sterile as the emergency room in a hospital, or sometimes maybe even a prison cell. But they're becoming more comfortable over the years, and it doesn't look as cheap anymore as before. So we have nice texture all around, we have nice leather and nice consoles and nice decoration. And for sure, same as in the Xiaomi, we have the huge screen, and this time I'm able to adjust it to English so I can already understand what's going on here. That's very crucial in a Tesla because everything, really everything, is operated on the screen. Being it opening the glove box, being it adjusting the air condition, and being it putting the car in gear and getting to go to drive, because even the gear lever, which is still mounted behind the steering wheel in the Xiaomi, has gone, and you go and engage the vehicle along the screen. So that's something you really have to get used to, and the same with the steering wheel. There are no sticks behind, and everything is controlled with two buttons on both sides and two knobs where you can twist. Even the indicators, and this is something I seriously don't like. There is a good reason why for 100 years we had the sticks behind the wheels, and there is no need to change that. So yes, doing things different is a good idea, but not only for the sake of doing them different. And for that reason, I'm really happy that the Xiaomi has stuck to some of the traditional ways of operating the car. Ouch! If you sit in the back of the Tesla Model 3, you really feel the difference to the Xiaomi and the 30 centimeters that are missing, because legroom is even smaller and you just feel more closed in and more composed in the vehicle. And if you look forward, yes, you still have the panoramic roof, but you always look against this bar, which somehow is threatening you, and you always fear that you might bounce your head again. So no, that's not the most comfy seat in the house. So that's all for the details, and now finally let's hit the road and go for a drive in the Xiaomi SU7. You all know the figures already about the Xiaomi SU7 since it's in the news since weeks. But nevertheless, I'll give you a brief summary just that you know what we're talking about. The car comes with 3 battery options, roughly 74 kilowatt hours, 94 kilowatt hours and 101 kilowatt hours. The 2 smaller batteries are operating on a 400 volts basis. The biggest performance battery is operating on a 800 volt basis and is charging pretty fast. 5 minutes for 220 kilometers, 10 minutes for roughly 400 kilometers, 15 minutes for more than 500 kilometers. When it comes to the drivetrain, there are also 2 options available. Standard model with single motor has 220 kilowatts equals 300 PS, and 400 Newton meters. Performance version with dual motor has 495 kilowatts, which translates to almost 700 PS, and has almost 900 Newton meters of torque, meaning you could go from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds, and you could go to 265 top speed. Or you can put it like that, you can directly drive into jail, because with the speed of that, you will not drive very much longer. Figures are the one thing, feelings are the more important things. And the feelings in that car are really good. You really feel that Xiaomi has hired some experts from prestigious European brands and suppliers to find a real good setup for the vehicle. The car feels very stiff, the suspension is well balanced, you get a good feeling for the road, and the steering is pretty precise. You have 2 different drive modes. Besides your individual setting, you can switch from comfort to sports, and the car changes really its character. While it's pretty relaxed in comfort, it is more aggressive, more spontaneous in the sports mode. You hear a kind of a engaging sound, and then the vehicle picks up speed, the vehicle changes its sensual system, the throttle is more responsive, the steering is more responsive, it's just more fun to drive. On the other hand, if you're bored and if you don't want to drive yourself, Xiaomi is offering a kind of autopilot. It is not as sophisticated as you know it from certain other brands. It's just a base level 2 system that operates on pretty good roads. You need a decent set of lines, and then the car holds the lane, holds the distance, and even switches lanes once you indicate for it. That is not really sophisticated and not really satisfying, and Xiaomi is well aware of that. That's the reason why the car is OTA capable, so every new software update will bring new functionalities over the air. You don't have to bother, and you just get all the news into your car. Yeah, back in the old world of the electric age. We're sitting in the Tesla Model 3, kind of the standard amongst the electric vehicles. The best-selling electric vehicle in the world, and there is a reason for that. It is just driving relaxedly and easily, nothing to worry about. But if you compare it to the Xiaomi, it is somehow outdated. It is more expensive, has less power. In this case, we're talking about 194 kilowatts, which is roughly 10% less than in the Xiaomi. It is slower. It goes only 200 kilometers per hour, accelerates from 0 to 100 in 6.1 seconds, and it has the smaller battery. Capacity is 60 kilowatt hours, translating to a Chinese standard range of 606 kilometers. So why buy the Tesla? Just because it has all you need to know, and it delivers an easy drive. And it delivers the confidence that you're driving a car that is developed since ages and that is sold all around the world. When it comes to driving feeling itself, the Tesla is very mature, but less sporty, less dynamic, and less aggressive as the Xiaomi. It's a bit like stepping from a very agile, very dynamic BMW into a cozy and relaxed Lexus, for example, if you look into the old world. So this is the car to go from A to B in relax. The Xiaomi is more the car to go from A to B while having fun. So if it's about the destination, the Tesla is the car to go. If it's about the drive itself, then you better pick the Xiaomi. Thank you for joining me on that first comparison of the Tesla Model 3 and the Xiaomi SU7 here on ifang.com. This is the best-selling electric vehicle in the world, combined with the Model Y, its SUV-ish sibling. But this is one of the most interesting conquerors. It's definitely not the best electric vehicle in the world right now, but it is a huge achievement for a company that formerly was only known for smart electronic devices. Now they are a vehicle manufacturer, and the car looks good, drives good, and is even cheaper than the best-selling model. So wake up, Tesla, Go ahead, otherwise the Xiaomi will catch up and maybe once overtake you. Thank you, 谢谢, 再见, and goodbye.